5 years down the road, where do I see blockchain going? I see it getting integrated in a way where we don't even know if it's blockchain or not.
Hey everyone, welcome to Blockchain North, Canada's first blockchain media. It's been a little while since we've released an interview, so I'm really excited to get back at it. And today I'll be interviewing Ryder Havdale, who's the founder and CEO of Helios. And Helios is a social music platform looking to disrupt the way musicians, content creators, and users monetize digital engagement. Very interesting, and it's a Canadian company. Great to have you, Ryder. Before I begin, I want to welcome our audience. If you enjoy these interviews, make sure to follow our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. You can also find us on all social media platforms, so we hope you already follow us, and if you don't, please do. It really does help us. And make sure to stay till the end, because like with all of our interviews, I'll be asking Ryder for his predictions for 2023 and beyond. Ryder, great to have you.
Hello, so nice to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Really excited, as I've been telling you before. I mean, the fact that you're Canadian project, the fact that it's about music. I personally love music. We'll talk a bit about music during this interview as well, but why don't you start by giving us a little introduction about yourself and how you got involved in blockchain? Because the way I see it, everyone approaches it their own unique way, right?
Yeah. Well, a little bit about me. I've been in music for 20 years. I went to school to be a web developer in the year 2000. And, I was the webmaster for Rogers Media. My first day was 9/11 when the planes entered the buildings, and I had to do animated GIFs of that encounter.
Oh my God.
So, that was a couple of years of my life building websites. Then I got into music, running a record label, touring the world. I've played hundreds of shows as myself, as the Mohawk Lodge, and now I tour with a band called Broken Social Scene for the last 6 years. And yeah, I mean, music is my first love, but it's fascinating coming around, 20 years later, getting back into tech. I never thought I'd be rocking this, and I feel like Helios is it's a beautiful union of tech and music and helping people. So
what is it that actually got you to blockchain? What triggered your interest? Because it's one thing to be interested, it's another thing to start a venture in the business, right?
I mean, 2015, my friend Daryl Newdorf, legendary producer, dragged me to a Vitalik Buterin talk, and should have bought some ETH at the time. And then it took a little longer, but yeah, I mean, it definitely sparked my interest.
Yeah, what in particular?
I mean, I love the idea of, like, for me, blockchain is a tool. Like any other, like we're using it as a feature. I love for us, I love the aspect of Web3, power to the people. That's my main thing about it. For NFTs, the ownership and provenance and attribution. Yeah, I just feel like it allows creators to access new revenue streams that I think are exciting. And I mean, I got into crypto, not obviously maybe, but like I do love investing in projects. I love the gamification of tokens and coins, and it was fascinating to see it go from just betting on exchanges to like, oh, it's coming into real world things. And I feel like NFTs were sort of the gateway drug. It's like, oh, it's like that, except that you have something that feels more physical. Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. And I totally agree with that too. I think that intersection of arts and technology is really exciting, but it's also, I think it's always been there. I think technology has always been a part of, at least many creative processes and always been a part of business. And it's not actually new. It's just that this technology might be more powerful and disruptive than other ones. And as you said, provide, for a new avenue for artists to kind of distribute and market themselves. So that's really exciting, and that's what Helios is about, from what I understand. So maybe you could give us your, very short 60 seconds. What is Helios? What does it do? And then, of course, we can delve a bit deeper.
Helios is a social-based music streaming ecosystem where creators are paid fairly and transparently for all engagement with their content. It's an end-to-end platform that allows musicians to release their music, engage with their fans, and mint NFTs on the fly from their phone. So any post, whether it be an album, merch package, tickets to shows, any post can be an NFT. And we're minting to Solana, and yeah, we're looking to revolutionize the way that creators get paid.
Very, very clear. Yeah, you obviously know your ideas, your vision very clearly. So if we expand a little bit on that, I'm wondering, first of all, is it a competitive space? And what are you trying to do, from your point of view at least, that is truly revolutionary or truly differentiated from what's already out there, if anything? I'm not a specialist.
Sure. So we're tackling three things.
Okay.
There's music, the whole music streaming world. There's social media, and then there's NFTs. Now, with music right now, on the current digital streaming platforms, there's no social. It's generally, pushing songs at you. You look up an album, etc. There's no direct connection to fans. You have no idea who's listening to your music. So we're trying to bring social into music. And also in the NFT world, in NFT marketplaces, there's no real social. Why do you have to go to a Twitter or to a Discord to connect to your fans, or to generate hype for a project? And also, so a band like Broken Social Scene, it's like, how do they get into NFTs? It's like it's its own little world over here, the NFT marketplaces. Yeah, so that's one of the differentiators is social. Then there's transparency. I had 1 million streams on one song called Tokyo, and this actually sparked the idea on Helios, which it was like, fuck, did we get paid on this song? Sure enough, $4,000 came in. The label took half, and me and Latch, the other producer, got $1,000 each. But the fact that I had to actually, start digging, and I've been in music for 20 years, it's like, on Spotify for artists, there's no transparency as to what you can see where your streams came from. You just, there's no, here's what you made. So that's another differentiator. You can see what you've made on Helios from your content. And, probably the biggest one as far as music goes is that most digital streaming platforms pay out on a pro rata, like a per stream rate basis. So when I hit 1 million streams on that song Tokyo, it's roughly half a penny that we got paid out. Now, when you start digging into it, most people listen to 15 songs a day, 450 songs a month, and 450 songs times half a penny is just over $2. So where does the other $2, $7.80 go? So the big differentiator on, we're doing a per user engagement model. So if I only do one thing, if Flo, do you have a favorite band right now?
There's quite a few, but I don't know. Well, I'll give you one. I'll tell you that, I like Laurent Garnier's latest album quite a bit. I don't know if you're into the electronic scene, but he's one of the godfathers of techno, and his last album came up, I think, a couple of months ago, and yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
So if you listen to one Laurent Garnier song right now in a month, that's all you do on Spotify. His label gets half a penny. Spotify takes, $9.99. So on Helios, though, the initial idea, the differentiator is that $7 would go to that one listen. If that was your full engagement that month, that's who would get that. Or if you listen to Laurent Garnier and who's another electro, like Who would be in this ballpark? I mean, my favorite electronic artist is probably Caribou. So if I was like Caribou and Long Idea, it'd be 350 and 350. We got a big algorithm going in the back end based on what you engage with. So your subscription goes to whomever you engage with. And likes are included in that. Likes are worth a little bit, comments a bit more, shares a bit more, and a 5-minute listen is weighted a lot more. But yeah, I mean, those are, I just went into the weeds on that. But what differentiates us? I mean, at the end of the day, it's by creators for creators to get creators paid. Because right now, these digital stream platforms, I mean, Spotify, that's the playlist on Netflix. Episode 3 is fascinating because Daniel X talking about, this is 2009, talking about, he's having a little hissy fit. The lawyers are like, we need to pay the labels. And he's like, no, we're not paying anybody anything. We're a tech company. People are going to want to be on us like Google. And you skip ahead and it's free. And skip ahead and that's what's happened. I mean, essentially, creators are getting paid very little on these platforms. They didn't want to pay anybody anything initially. So you skip ahead 15 years and that's where we're at, is those conversations that happened, in the late 2000s are we're dealing with that now.
As a music lover myself, I do want to ask you kind of almost a challenge to that thesis. So I'm all for, of course, artists being recognized and being able to earn a living because, very few do as a percentage of the whole, of course, like all artists. But I also see the value of platforms like Spotify and others making music so available to music lovers like me. But then, of course, if I ask myself honestly, paying $10 or $15 a month to listen to, you say 450, I'm probably at 4,500 myself every month. Of course, it begs the question, how do those artists possibly get compensated, and also the balance between, as you said, what they earn versus what the producers earn. So how do you see the future of this situation, this dilemma, through apps like yours and others? How do you see things changing in the future?
Well, okay, for one thing, I love the access to all music as well. And, over the next year, our intention is to have, hopefully the next 6 months, is to have the same 100 million songs that are on every one of those platforms, right? Like that's, before we can charge a subscription, we will have the same 100 million songs that's on Tidal, Deezer, Apple Music, Spotify.
Right. That must be a challenge in and of itself, right? Onboarding all these songs, it's not easy, I guess.
Yeah. So there's multiple conversations happening with distributors, labels, etc. right now. We're onboarding. We've got our first 1,000 albums that are being ingested right now. So yeah, I mean, I love the experience of Spotify is great. It's all there for you. And some artists, not everybody, some artists are getting paid hugely. Like, the artists that are getting fast tracked through the algorithms, the way the big pool system works, I don't really want to get into the weeds on that, but they're, definitely some people are making a lot of money.
But some, as you say, the biggest ones, obviously.
What's that?
I said some, as you say, obviously the biggest ones.
I mean, basically, if you listen to Broken Social Scene all day long, probably Drake is going to make more of your $10 than they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the middle class, I feel like there's a missing middle class in music now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be that you can get in a van and tour across Canada or wherever. And, at the end of the show, I could walk around a room, say, may say there were 100 people in the room and sell 25 CDs and walk out of there with, a few $100 to put in the gas tank. You just can't do that now. I mean, if you get 1 million streams and you're in a band, it's like, I got $1,000 after, on a track that was hitting all the New Music Friday plays and all the big algorithmic playlists. But, if there were 5 people in that band, it would have been a different story. Like, that was 2 of us. If there were 5 people, everyone get just under $500. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem, of course. Yeah. And so, so how do you see blockchain, the technology itself, truly sort of disrupting that? And again, what in your mind's eye, if you think maybe 5 years, I feel like that's pretty long already, maybe even 10 years down the line, looking back at today, could you run us through your thought process there?
Well, I mean, we're offering one solution to this, which is we're a hybrid platform that uses blockchain as a feature. So, for music last year, the digital stream platforms was roughly 48 billion was the entire marketplace. But NFTs, and I mean, NFTs have taken a huge, it's a bear market, of course, but they were still 25 billion last year.
Hmm.
And what we're trying to access is, the artists. From what I can tell, it's roughly 20% of that 48 billion is getting to labels. We're allowing artists to tie into this other marketplace, which is that 25 billion, and access, that world. We're trying to give artists ways that, they can generate revenue for their content, not just on a per stream rate. There's a cap on the per stream because people put in $10 into the system and then it goes where it goes. But with NFTs, it allows them, on the same platform somebody's listening to you on, you can also sell them something. And ideally, if it's an NFT, you can add utility to that NFT in unique ways. And yeah, so I mean, 5 years down the road, where do I see blockchain going? I see it getting integrated in a way where we don't even know if it's blockchain or not. We're a system right now that's both AWS and Solana's blockchain. And, even the word NFTs, I don't think people are gonna, I see that word going away. But, I look at NFTs and blockchain like the dot-com bubble of 1999. There was a time when, a web developer could charge Nike $1 million for a one-page website. And like 3 years later, you could get your nephew to do it for, $500. But skip ahead 24 years and we're still using websites. In fact, probably more so than ever. And the utility and as the utility gets integrated, like as far as blockchain, new use cases, new utility, NFTs, I don't feel are going away. The actual mechanisms behind it are just going to become, more integrated into our lives. Right now, there's, it's tricky. You got to connect a wallet. You got to do these things to get into this world. And I think that's, those hurdles are going to go away. And it's just going to be like another, piece of a website, piece of a mobile app.
Yeah.
And we're striving for that. I want my mom to be able to use Helios and not have to connect a wallet. She shouldn't have to I have to walk her through how to attach an image to an email every now and then.
Well, but also, I guess as a new generation, gets online, kids that are maybe now, well, I guess they're all online pretty much from birth, it seems. So that's obviously over time going to change a lot as well. And as you say, blockchain will just be, integrated into various activities without people really knowing that it's blockchain or knowing that it's, crypto or Web3 or NFTs. I totally hear that. So where are you at right now with Helios, and what's next? Do you have any plans? Is there any sort of, anything you can disclose today about what's coming out in the next few months? I mean, you talked about onboarding 1 million songs. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, 100 million songs in the next year.
Sorry, 100 million. Small difference.
Right now on Thursday, this coming Thursday, June 22nd, which also happens to be my birthday. I love releasing records on my birthday, but this year it's going to be the soft launch for Helios. It's the public beta where you'll be able to find it on Google Play. It's been submitted for the iOS. You'll be able to download either the test flight for iOS or the actual app. I mean, and essentially you'll be able to sell NFTs from the phone. I mean, this is truly unique at the moment. The fact that we can mint NFTs on the phone. It's going to mainnet on Solana. And yeah, so I mean, basically the first milestone one is getting our first dollar in on Thursday. We've been building this for 2 years from the inception to where we're at now. And it's yeah, and then the full launch with subscription, I'm hoping, is early 2024. That's when we've got the same catalog as other platforms. But in that time, I mean, on Thursday, you'll be able to, like, it takes 1 minute to upload an album. Like any kid, anybody can upload an album, like, in no time. It's free to use. It'll be free to use, free to engage, and you can monetize the content as far as with NFTs.
That's really cool. Well, look, best of luck with that, and hopefully we can get that interview released before or on your birthday. Maybe that'd be a nice birthday present. So if we switch gears a bit, and maybe I bring you back to your roots and to music. I mean, it's obvious looking at the beautiful guitars behind you that's what drives you, or that's what maybe inspires you the most. Could you share maybe any artist or band, dead or alive, that you would have liked to collaborate with? I mean, as a musician, but also as an entrepreneur, is there any in particular that comes to mind right away?
I mean, right away, this Wednesday we're playing Broken Social Scene. Broken Social Scene celebrating their 20th anniversary for an album called You Forgotten People. And I was a huge fan of that record. So, I mean, I get so much joy working with that band. I've been with them a little over 5 years. And yeah, I mean, they pop to mind. So go check out all the shows in September and October through the States.
We'll add some links as well on screen and in the description for sure.
Yeah, I mean, one of my big faves was John McIntyre, who actually produced some Broken Social Scene stuff. He was in a band, the Sea and Cake and Tortoise. When I was 22, I had a ticket to fly anywhere in North America, and I flew to Chicago because I loved Soma Studios, which put out all these. They produced all the records for a label called Thrill Jockey. And yeah, I mean, I've got over the pandemic, I recorded a record with him that I'm excited to share with the world. But yeah, he was a massive influence. It's nice. I mean, it's cool I've been in music so long. I've gotten to meet some of my heroes. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely up there.
So if I think about SoundCloud, and I mentioned an electronic music artist earlier, and I think SoundCloud is, correct me if I'm wrong, but my impression is that their rise has been associated with DJ sets and electronic music. At least that's how I look at it. If we transpose this to Helios, is there a particular musical genre? I mean, looking at your guitars, I'm going to say rock and roll, that you expect or even plan to have, featured maybe more than the rest?
Probably because I come from indie rock. Most of the labels that we're ingesting at the moment are indie rock focused. But I want to be genre agnostic. I'd love to have everyone on here. We're just building out the Discover feature by genre. We've got George Brown is helping putting together a team of students to build like an AI algorithm, similar to Spotify, but there's the head of that program actually called us because she was like, I've been thinking about Helios, and I think we could do a better algorithm than Spotify. And I was like, yeah, let's go. But yeah, I mean, I want to have, like, I love all different genres of music. I'd like to have everything up on Helios. It's not, our focus is not one thing or another, but initially it's likely that, the Gen Zers are probably our target audience because they're willing to take a risk on a new platform. I mean, I feel like, probably our biggest competitor is going to be apathy, like getting people to come over and try out Helios. But yeah, I'm guessing that it's going to be, the Gen Zers that are the first real users on this platform, and you know, the artists that they love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no specific genre, but probably a lot of indie rock at first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And if we kind of wrap up a bit talking about crypto again, so you're now a crypto entrepreneur. I hope you realize that. Yeah, I mean, again, we all approach it from a different angle. I mean, you're a musician, crypto entrepreneur, but you know what you're building is certainly built, you know, on the platform on blockchain. Do you
Yeah,
have,
launching a token,
you're launching a token? You want to talk more about that?
the Helios token. Yes, I mean it's not going to be on the platform on this public beta launch this week. But yeah, thanks to a little company called Blockchain North. One of your cohorts, Bobby, has been amazing at putting the tokenomics together and our white paper helping us with that. And I'm very excited to be able to like offer rewards and, you know, mint NFTs with the Helios token. Yeah, I mean, the referral program that we're going to put in place, I think, yeah, I'm excited about all the use cases for Helios. And I'm just going to leave it there on the use cases. People will have to read the white paper when it's up in a couple of weeks.
Sounds great. And full disclosure, and we'll have this in the description as well. Helios is indeed a client of Blockchain North. We offer, you know, services specifically for the crypto industry. Shameless plug right there. Including writing papers, helping people build their communities on social media, things like that, more copywriting services. But yeah, we're thrilled to be a part of it. And I'm happy to do this interview, you know, whether you were a client or not, because again, you're Canadian, you're a little unique, I think, in the space, in that what you're producing is specifically for music. And I'm a music lover myself. So very happy to have you on the show. So do you have crypto projects within or even outside of music that you're particularly interested in? I mean, I'm not going to ask you to, you know, shill any projects, but what are you interested or curious about outside of Helios itself?
I mean, probably the main blockchain program that I'm loving is like the Solana. I mean, uh, just Solana in general, like being at their Breakpoint event in Lisbon last year was amazing. I just love that like those guys are building, you know, real world products. They've built the world's first crypto phone, the Saga, and you know, Raj and Anatoly. It's like, you know, I've been on a handful of calls with them. I just love what they're doing. I want to go surfing with those guys. Now, you know, I love like Vitalik, like obviously game changer. He's you know, done huge things in the space, but Solana I'm obviously bullish on. And yeah, I just think they're cool. I mean, it's like, you know, there's Solana stores, the phone. Yeah, they're doing cool shit. And I think that's what needs to happen in the space.
Well, that's one of the coolest things about crypto that I hear again and again is that the people that are driving this movement, because I think we can call it a movement, are generally nice people. I mean, obviously it's very subjective, but they're often young and often you know, very very ambitious. And also, I feel like they have their heart in the right place. I mean, again, it's hard to say this about the whole industry, given especially some of the scandals that have happened. I mean, we're not immune. It's, you know, it's already a sizable industry, so there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. But there are indeed a lot of projects that seem to be meaning really well, and I find that really exciting. And also there are a lot of very smart people, and that's, you know, in and of itself should lead to great things. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's a new industry. It's getting, you know, it's still getting worked out. I also wanted to plug you know, Toronto, if you're looking to get into crypto, there's like the NFTO run by Galen Hogg, an awesome group that's putting on events. The other one in Toronto is Web3TO by Landon runs it. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get into crypto, check out your local communities, and yeah, there's lots of meetups going around.
Yeah, that's a worthwhile shout out. Yeah, we are involved with the Blockchain Futurist conference. We'll be there. We're media partners. We're also I would say, close with the Canadian Blockchain Consortium out of Calgary that have been doing great things for a long time as well. Futurists too, by the way. But good shout out. Yeah, every city in Canada, I think, has by now a Web3 community of some kind, and that's a great place to start. Final question. Any predictions? Anything that you're most convinced about? What is your greatest conviction about crypto, Web3, blockchain in the coming years? What can we record on this interview and then maybe look back at later? And you're pretty sure that you won't be too far off. Let's put it this way.
Well, I mean, I hope that in the next 2 years we make some 12-year-old the first crypto millionaire through Helios. That's my wish. Where do I think it's going? I mean, I just feel like it's gonna be a bumpy little ride, but like it keeps coming, bear market or bull market, it keeps coming back. I don't see it going anywhere. All the stuff, the SEC in the States is, they don't know what to do with crypto right now, but I almost kind of hope it gets a bit more regulated so that we can build around some sort of structure.
Most people do, I think, in the industry.
Yeah, but I mean, my prediction is it's just going to get bigger and, more integrated into general sites, into general mobile apps. I feel it. People aren't even necessarily going to know it's blockchain soon.
That's a great way to put it, and I agree with you completely. I mean, frankly, if you just look at the adoption by major organizations in tech, in finance, in entertainment, I mean, they're all one way or another involved with blockchain. A lot of them have patents in blockchain. A lot of them are pouring a lot of money into blockchain. So yeah, to me, it's also a foregone conclusion. I'm biased, of course. Maybe you're biased too. Hey, and let me ask, if you had just one wish for Helios for the coming year, what would it be?
We're looking to onboard the revolutionaries, the people who want to make a fucking difference. And, ideally anti-establishment, DIY. Who would be at the top of that would be, I would love it. Please, universe, I would love to have Neil Young on here. Also Taylor Swift. Anybody who who actually wants to make a difference, let's go. Call me.
Hey, Ryder, it was really, really cool to speak with you. Really nice interview. A lot of fun. A nice little bit of a change of pace for us because we haven't really spoken too much about music yet. A little bit, but we'd probably want to do more. Where can people find you, by the way? Any links that we should put on screen or in the description for people to go and check out Helios, of course, but anything more specific that you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, well, helios.party is the website. Yeah.
Say no more.
And just head there and there'll be links to, what we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And of course, a big thank you to everyone for watching till the end. If you enjoyed the interview, make sure to follow the channel, give us a like, hit the notification bell. It really does help us a lot, so we really appreciate it a lot. Of course, if you have any questions or comments for us, for me, for Ryder, make sure to leave them in the comments or just reach out to us directly. You can find our contact details on our website, theblockchainnorth.com. You can find us on all platforms from Twitter and LinkedIn, TikTok and Instagram. And since recently, we're on Medium as well, where we publish an article every Friday. Ryder, thanks again. Good luck with your project. Real pleasure to have you. And see you around, everyone. Cheerio.